want to go back to neighbourhood policing. In Merton, we've lost both our front counters in Wimbledon Police Station and Mitcham Police Station. Why do you think that front counters, police stations aren't important to neighbourhood policing?
So let's think about sort of separate out police stations, police bases and the actual front counter. In terms of front counters, they are rarely used in much of London. And the arrangements that we've gone to in London are similar, in some cases more generous than what you'll see in forces around the country who've gone here over the last 10 years. The sort of closures of front counters we've done are counters that maybe have 2 people in a day come in to report a crime or something like that. They're very, very, very low usage, and that's a very expensive way of dealing with that. And actually, if you speak to communities, and picking up the point made last, what people want most is the patrol in their area, and I'd rather be cutting the front counters that almost nobody uses than the patrol on the streets. In terms of buildings and presence, clearly it's important to have officers distributed across London. It's also important to have neighbourhood policing teams close to their patch. In an ideal world, you want them to be able to walk out their base and be on their patch with maybe a 20-minute walk. Of the sort of best part of 700 wards in London, there's over 100 we can't do that in, which I'm disappointed in. We recently published a new estate strategy, which is unaffordable, but it's deliberately put out there to challenge sort of local and national government about funding the infrastructure policing properly, because we have a large part of our estate is suboptimal, and the amount of money we need to spend just to keep our existing buildings working is not available. So our budget doesn't even cover keeping sensible standards in the existing buildings. When we look at other challenges, such as wanting to put bases for neighbourhood teams closer to communities, or needing to meet the challenge of the electrification of vehicle fleets, which has a big impact for policing because we have to put massive charging infrastructures in place. And this isn't about chasing any green targets, this is simply following the speed of the market change. There's some multiple billions we need to spend on estates over the next few years we don't have, and that's the challenge. One way to try and make some progress on that, despite the budgets, is if partners can help us with at low rates sharing other buildings in communities that might help us with the neighbourhood team part of that. I'm looking to do it. So I'm trying to stretch ourselves as far as we can do on that. But absolutely we should have neighbourhood teams based in and close to the community. The evidence is that people you'd rather have them on the streets tackling issues than in a front counter doing very little.
Wimbledon Police Station has far more than 2 visitors a day, and that's been closed. But are you having discussions with councils about sharing premises?
Yes.
Are you discussing that with Merton Council?
We're doing it across London, and we're coordinating it with City Hall. I can't remember the individual conversations with each council, but that's the intent.
Mm-hmm.